Alright, so, a new trailer for Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes released recently, giving us some information. There were some surprises, some things we were expecting, and some things that made me laugh. Today, I'm going to go over the more interesting aspects as a fan of the series and, well, mostly just say things. This trailer has a surprisingly good and rather twisty opening. From the first trailer, it was assumed that Byleth would be the protagonist again and that this new blue-haired character would be some sort of antagonist or perhaps a rival. In the first 20 seconds, this trailer flipped everything on its head by revealing that Blue Hair Man is actually the protagonist in this one, and the protagonist of the original game is actually more of an antagonist this time around. It did this by having Byleth almost murder him. This was a great way to reveal it. In the original game, it was revealed in one of the support conversations that some of the mercenaries that Byleth and Geralt worked with gave Byleth the nickname, the Ashen Demon, due to how they never expressed any emotion when murdering people. Having the Blue Hair Man be revealed as the protagonist by presenting Byleth almost murdering him in this way from Blue Hair's perspective was weirdly impressive for a trailer that I wasn't expecting much from and instantly intrigued me much more than the first trailer. The only part of this opening that wasn't so great was the presence of text. It would have been more engaging to have to interpret this reveal with visuals as opposed to getting hit over the head with words. They work, and the idea of challenging the original protagonist is fun for reasons that I'll explain in a moment, but it could have been better. Despite the complaint, it was definitely a great way to reveal it. You may have noticed that I haven't mentioned Blue Hair's name yet, and, well, that's because it's kinda hard to say it without bursting out laughing. His name is Shez. I'll try not to laugh too much, but come on. You can also have Shez be a girl, if you prefer. I used to consider the name Byleth kind of awkward, but now I appreciate that name. It also states in text that Shez's name can be changed. Thank God. There is no way I was going to get through the story without crying with a name like Shez. I'm definitely going to change my protagonist's name to something more serious, like Bread or Cheese or maybe even Blue Hair. Okay, other things. More characters made their appearance and other gameplay mechanics were revealed that work with what you had with the original. It was also revealed that the story would also involve choosing a side in the war. It originally felt like it could have been a single storyline essentially working as a fifth route for three houses, but now we know that there's choice involved. The story still feels like it's going to progress significantly differently to the original thanks to the inclusion of new characters and some parts suggesting complicated events taking place beyond the Lords simply trying to take over the continent. Alright, so going back to Byleth. Byleth probably isn't going to behave like a villain all of a sudden, that wouldn't make much sense. Challenging the Ashen Demon, however, sounds like a potentially very cool aspect. They're often complimented in the original game as being incredibly skilled, so having to challenge a powerful opponent like that could be really fun and engaging. This could also be turned into a gameplay event. What if you were in the middle of a battle, claiming outposts and defeating captains when suddenly a message appears that states, "The Ashen Demon has arrived on the battlefield," and you had to contend with an incredibly powerful opponent? Remember, Byleth is both incredibly skilled and works as the tactician for their house, so not only would they be overleveled, but also smart, making tactical decisions that the protagonist would have to work around while contending with the main enemy. Byleth would also be so skilled that it wouldn't necessarily be smart to actually fight them. Instead, you would have to tactically figure out how to succeed even with this new threat. Byleth's appearances would happen at any time as well. They might appear at the start, not appear at all, or maybe even appear right when you're close to victory. Add on to this the option to have classic mode with permadeath, and this could be an engaging new challenge to take on. You would, of course, eventually have a proper fight as well, as was suggested in the trailer. I'm not necessarily expecting something like this at all, and Byleth is probably going to eventually be unlocked and playable, but I wouldn't mind having this kind of challenge to keep things interesting. After the first trailer, I was interested, but with this new, better one, I'm definitely going to try to get this game at launch. I may be poor, but I'm sure I'll be able to scrounge up enough coins by the time June 24th rolls around. Anyway, I've done more than enough talking. More than anything else, I hope that it's good and I look forward to it. Thank you for listening and watching.